All right, let this get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Grapevine Wellness Show. Tonight's topic is stress making you sick? How chronic stress makes people sick, overweight, and unhappy, and how to fix it. I am so excited about tonight. For those who don't know me, my name is Jolyn Armstrong. I'm a certified trauma recovery coach and founder of Grapevine Trauma Recovery and Emotional Wellness. Thank you for coming and being here on my show tonight. If you have questions during our interview tonight, you're welcome to pop those into the Q&A. We'll be sure to address as much as possible at the end of the show. So I am so excited about tonight's guest. Molly just has a huge heart for the people of Reno and is well versed in physical and emotional effects of prolonged stress. So I have just been looking forward to this conversation for sure. So let me tell you a little bit about Molly. Molly suffered a spinal injury as a teenager in a car accident. And so massage has always been near and dear to her. Since that time, when she was a teenager, she has understood the relief that massage can bring for sure. So Molly started Body In Knead in 2009 with 2 locations in the Reno area. She feels fortunate to have built a large and amazing team of massage therapists. Their mission is helping others heal themselves with exceptional massage. So Molly, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Fill us in. What did I miss? And how did you get started in massage?
You kind of got it all. I was injured in a car accident when I was about 13, and I was in a body cast. I fractured a spinal vertebra in the middle of my spine. So I was in a body cast. I went from my neck to my hips. And the only relief I would get during that time period, it was a pretty cool cast. It had Velcro on the sides and you could take a shower in it. And so after a shower, my mom would lay me down and unzip me and rub lotion on my back and baby powder me up so I wouldn't feel stinky during the day. And that moment, that touch was when I really felt better. After I was told, oh, you're stable, don't wear the body cast anymore, it turns out I wasn't. So the vertebra collapsed and it started kind of this lifelong journey and what would be a compensatory response that still goes on today. So I got into massage, one, to relieve stress. And because I always knew the power of massage, my prior job to massage therapy, I was a manager for American Airlines, and I was there before, during, and after September 11th. And I found then there is an actual limit to how much stress my body's able to take.
Imagine that.
The negative effects that go with that. So I went back to school for massage locally. I went to the Ralston School of Massage and was blessed to do so actually twice. I started and then moved to Vegas and came back and finished. But it was a wonderful foundation in therapeutic massage, sports massage. And I actually went to school in a hospital. It was at a Washoe Medical Center before it became Renown. So I'm going to age myself a little bit. So I got to work in the hospital setting on patients. And every day you really see the power of just what touch can do. So I became a massage therapist kind of selfishly to really know a lot of massage therapists and get a free massage every day. I think that was actually my exit interview at American Airlines. What are you going to do? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back to massage school and get a free massage every day.
That's right.
That was my goal. I didn't make it, but it wasn't for lack of trying. But I really know the value of touch and healing touch. And it's something that is missing in a lot of people. We don't have a very healthy touch society.
Right.
I got into massage really to kind of help myself. But because of my injuries, I was very good as a massage therapist. While I could still work, I'm now broken and can't. But I understand pain. I understand chronic pain. I understand that injured pain, and I understand the effects of what that does to your body. So having to stop working was also hugely traumatic, but I'm blessed that massage therapists with exceptional skills have just kind of come into Body In Knead really when we needed help. And then as we hit COVID, life changed a little bit again. And since COVID, my business has actually quadrupled in size.
Oh.
We have the 2 locations, one in Reno, one in Sparks. And really, I'm blessed as the massage therapists kind of find us when they need to. as do our clients. We've never really advertised. So that's how I got into massage.
Yeah.
Great question.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. What a story. What a beautiful story, actually. And I don't think that was selfish at all for you to want to get into massage and reciprocate by receiving massage as well. Right.
Makes
Yeah.
it helps the pain. It does a lot for your body. So that's why I became a massage therapist.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you brought up a couple of things, the whole COVID experience, and the trauma that you experienced in not being able to yourself offer massage anymore. But I want to transition a little bit into kind of that segue leading into stress and various causes of stress, which we know there are a lot of them. Many people now are suffering from chronic stress. And so I want to talk about that a little bit and the negative effects on your physical, your mental, emotional health. But let's start with causes that you're seeing in your clients that come into both of your locations.
Stress is a really wide, I don't have the right word for that. Sorry. It's stressful to think of that. Whether it's a momentary stress or a chronic stress, I think what we're seeing a lot more of nowadays is really more chronic stress. In my history as a massage therapist, I would ask every single client at one point in the massage, so when was the last time you didn't have stress? And they'd have to think about it. So everybody handles stress in a different way. And the cause of stress can be very different to the person, whether it's your alarm clock waking you up and you startle in the morning, or someone swerves in front of you in traffic, or you're having an argument with someone's being rude, or you're standing in the middle of the woods and a bear is charging at you. Or if you're sitting stuck in your house and can't leave because of COVID, there are lots of these really long-term stress. Your body has this incredible ability to heal itself. You break a bone, it heals. You catch a cold, you typically get better. Stress is the same thing. You have a stress response to stress. Your brain doesn't understand the difference in stress. It just understands there's something that's causing stress. So when you have a stress event, your body is designed to release chemicals and hormones, gets you ready for fight or flight, gets you ready to, am I going to run? Am I going to stay? What am I going to do? It protects what's important to keep you alive. After that stress event, those levels are supposed to go back down and you normalize. But when was the last time you didn't have stress?
Yeah.
So it kind of carries event to event. And then you have what we call chronic stress. At that point, your body starts going into a very, very different mode. And it starts thinking, oh, this high stress environment, so this is normal, the new normal. And what am I going to do with all of these things? And I need to stay alive, and I need to store, and I need to get ready to do a few things. So the response to stress is it's different for everybody because everybody handles stress differently. The chemical response is usually the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that we're not able to recover from one stress to the next anymore in this world that we live in. Yeah. It's I'm glad that you pointed out that difference, because it is a huge, huge difference, and a dangerous one, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Actually, yes. I Googled it this morning to make sure my numbers were still right, but about 90%, studies are showing 90% of modern diseases are caused by chronic stress. And that can range from everything to anxiety, high blood pressure, diabetes, strokes, cardiovascular issues, sleep problems, weight gain, weight loss. It's your body goes through a process when it has all of those hormones. The main stress hormone is cortisol. And after a while, cortisol is supposed to get blood sugar into your blood and get you ready to go. But if it happens way too long and it keeps going, it starts thinking, I need to store energy. How do I stay alive in this state? And so it starts a few different things. It makes you crave salty, fatty foods because it needs to store energy, and that's called fat. So all of a sudden, when you have extended stress, a few things start happening. You're exhausted because it really drains the energy that you have. You're craving salty, fatty foods, so you stop eating food that's good for you. You can't sleep because you're stressed, even though you're exhausted. You wake up exhausted, so you drink more caffeine. The first thing you throw out, because you absolutely don't have time for it, is exercise. And then at the end of the day, you're just like this shattered mess, and that just continues. So long term, it's putting stress on your heart. It's putting stress on your digestive system. It's putting stress on your brain. It's putting stress on every single body system. Eventually, the whole body's involved in this. It's this big ripple effect. So
yeah, I had seen kind of a recent study on gene expression. Have you heard of that? How our genes, we're all born with the set of genes that we have, but they're learning more that different parts of our genes express themselves in different ways, different parts of our lives, depending on all kinds of different things, inputs and whatnot. So the study that I saw recently shows that the part of our genes that suppress inflammation actually get turned off by chronic stress and trauma, right? Yeah. Which makes sense. This is why all of us that are walking around wired, stressed, and traumatized are also experiencing all of these inflammatory diseases and issues. So yeah, that's a fascinating study that I came across. Anyway, all right, back to you. Sorry about that. It just, yeah, all the things that you're mentioning here. It's like, yeah, of course, our bodies are doing that.
Your body handles itself. Like my body broke and compensated in all of these different ways. Your body compensates. It's always looking for this homeostasis to keep you going and alive. That's your purpose. That's your body's purpose. So it doesn't know in terms of stress what the stress event is. It just knows you have stress and we need to overcome it. And then it's not going away. So now I need to, over the years, I've been reminded of the little clip of I Love Lucy, where she's working in a chocolate factory and she starts.
My favorite.
She said, and then she's starting to store them all. That's what I think of when I think of your body starts storing stress. Yeah. It's storing stress. It's storing this extra energy because it doesn't know what to do with it and it can't process it, and you're getting too much of it. It overloads your liver, it overloads your adrenal glands, it overloads your hypothalamus. You get a whole systemic effect, and it really ends up affecting every part, all body parts.
All body parts. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. So we've talked about the kind of physical negative effects of chronic stress. Let's talk about some of the mental / emotional effects as well, because as we know, that's a big deal too.
Well, when you have that level of extra, I would say, hormones or chemicals kind of going off in your body, it depletes other parts of your body. Like you can't just keep being an Energizer bunny. You have to recharge at some point. So if you're not getting that recharge, you're not putting what your body needs in, you're not getting what you need, your body starts kind of feeding off of itself. So you end up with anything, like studies are showing, anything from anxiety to depression. Like if you change a few things in your world to combat stress, like you see a lot of people treated for anxiety or depression, and they're told, well, you should be doing yoga, you should be doing something relaxing, you should be doing something positive energetically. Like how do you address that in your life so you can overcome whatever the stress is?
Yeah,
you can get rid of the stress, but can we really get rid of stress? At this point, we really just kind of have to maintain how we handle it.
Right. Handling stress and maybe repositioning ourselves within this stressful world, right? And combating that in a bunch of different ways. Yeah, I see that for sure. So you talk about ways to combat stress. You've mentioned a couple. I know that you've got a few steps, maybe 4-ish steps that people can take to reduce or eliminate stress in their lives. I think that that's such important information to share. We sometimes hear some things thrown flippantly out there, but the reality is that these steps that you have to share, it's not something to be flippant about anymore. I don't think all the things that we've been talking about, there's reason to say, listen, it's no longer an option for us. And it's the importance of it, like the flippancy that we used to be able to have, it can't be there anymore, right? Like we need to, focus on this. So you've got a few steps that people can take. I've got about 4. There's probably some more that we can fit in there. The 4 that you and I have talked about in the past: breathing, diet, exercise, and sleep, that kind of work together, and massage. Yeah.
That's a good end one.
I would love to go through these and talk about these with you and dive into each one, because I mean, we can, those are not, they're not super foreign probably to anyone. However, I think that there are some things that we can do to simplify each of those and really dive into why they're helpful and what we can do. Yeah.
They're all attainable, and there's something everybody can do. You're not doing anything really extreme in your daily life, but making a few small changes here and there, you actually start to see a really big difference in not just how you're handling the stress that comes into your life, but how you're feeling overall, which makes, again, that long-term difference. Doing massage over the years on, I don't know, about 20,000 people. I had a continuing education group years ago, and I had a guest speaker, a very well-known manual therapist in Reno, Peter Barbieri, came in and started talking to us about embryology. So how you develop in utero. And I remember we all just kind of sat there going, oh, so over our heads, but it was so fascinating. And he gave an example that is perfect, and it really pertains to stress. So he said 9 times out of 10, when you're working on someone and they have really tight shoulders, ask how they breathe. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to say they're a really shallow breather. Are they a shallow breather or a deep breather? So that first response that gets you going on a stress response, and you don't know it at the time, but think about the last time you have stress or the next time you have stress, the first thing you start to do is you start to breathe really shallow.
Yeah, shoulders
so
go
your
up.
diaphragm starts to go really shallow, and you start taking really quick short. That is actually the trigger that sets everything off in your body. That's because embryology wise, so how you were developing in utero, he said the same cells that make your trapezius, that tight muscle that's always tight right up at the top of your neck, right up here, those stress bumps that never go away, the same cells that multiply and divide and create that big muscle in your body also create your scapula or your shoulder blades. They also create your diaphragm, your breathing organ. So the more shallow you breathe, the tighter your shoulders get, and the more you kind of hunch forward. So on a cellular level, that's very interconnected. Wow. So in a massage, I would tell everyone, okay, so I want you to take a deep breath, and we're going to let our shoulders drop. They don't need to be earrings. Your beautiful ears, your beautiful earrings. You don't need to wear your shoulders as earrings. Just let them drop. And frequently I'd get a, that's not a deep breath. You're going to hyperventilate on me. So let's try that again. And we would go through different ways to breathe. And I've used this example. I'm sorry to my nephew, but it's the best example I've ever been given of a deep breath. My nephew, when he was about 10, was in counseling for his temper. And I was watching him one day, and he just started taking these huge deep breaths in and out, in and out. And I said, honey, are you okay? He said, Aunt Molly, my counselor says when I'm upset, I have to smell the roses and blow out the candles 10 times. I thought that's the best visual image of a deep breath. So big deep breath in and let it out. So I would work on that throughout the massage. I get distracted and squirrel really easily, and my brain always goes someplace funny. So trying to meditate or breathe deeply, I'll end up hyperventilating. So what works for me is to count. For some reason that works in my brain. So I'll count to 4 breathing in and hold it for 2, and then breathe out to a count of 4 and hold it for 2, and then repeat. My brain's busy counting. I just happen to be breathing at the same time. But what you're actually doing is retraining your diaphragm to actually contract and expand. And you're resetting that fight or flight response. You're telling your body the stress event is over, I can calm down. So step one is breathing. And it's silly that we have to think about breathing, but really it helps. You get it in yoga, you get it in Lamaze class, you get it throughout life in a couple of different places where they say you need to breathe. This is how you breathe, in and out deeply. And the more you do it with intention, you breathe in, everything tightens up, and then you exhale and you let your shoulders drop and you kind of tell your body, okay, I'm going to let this go. And then you repeat. On a good day, I would go from 4, like a 4 and 2 to a 3 and 6, or a 6 and 3 to an 8 and 4 count. So breathe into a count of 8, hold it for 4, and then you know you've really got some good movement on your diaphragm. That will automatically take this part and bring it back down. So that's step one.
Nice. I've been doing that while you're talking, and yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing how simply slowing down and breathing and kind of focusing on that. Yeah, it always amazes me how well that. Yeah.
From a mental standpoint, I count. If I'm having a pain issue, like a sore spot that I can't reach and it's really chronic and it's really painful and I can't take pain medication and I can't get to my chiropractor and I can't get a massage, what do I do? So you can do the same thing. I put a little target in my mind over the sore spot, like, you know, a little target that kind of goes out in phases. And then when I take a deep breath in, I fill up the target and then I bring it back down. And then the next time I breathe in again, it's a smaller circle and then I bring it back down. And so you're flooding your body with oxygen and you're actually really focusing on that area that hurts, but at the same time, you're really kind of bringing the pain level down until instead of hurting like this, it just hurts like this. Wow. And to me, that's a good mental exercise. If it's a pain issue, if it's a stress issue, I count. I don't know why counting works for me, but it works. I don't know.
It works, especially when your brain's everywhere. Of course. Yeah. It gives that brain something to do.
Right. So because our brains get busy. We go in 20 different directions all the time.
Yeah.
So breathing is number one. Everybody actually, you breathe automatically. You don't think about it, but really think
about it.
Really
think about it.
Think about it when you're stressed out. Think about it and slow, deep breaths.
Awesome.
The second thing that I would say to integrate is really diet and hydration. We've lost a lot of nutrition in our world. It's so easy to shop in the center of the grocery store and get something that's really convenient and throw it in the microwave and move on. I had another presentation. A friend was selling a product, like a nutritional product, and gave a presentation. And it's one of those moments where it really made an impact. She had a McDonald's cheeseburger still in the wrapper, and she'd never refrigerated it. She passed it around. It was as hard as a hockey puck, and she asked everyone to look at it and see how old we thought it was. And when we looked at the end, she said it's 18 months old. It's never it's never been refrigerated. It looked kind of iffy, like you could put it in the microwave and heat it up and it would be fine, but it was as hard as a hockey puck. And then she said, I'm going to pass it around one more time and I want you to really look at it. And we did it again. And afterwards she asked, did you see anything on it besides the bun and the meat and the cheese and like the condiments? I'm like, no. And she said, so the question is, if bugs won't eat it and mold won't grow on it, is it something you think you should put in your body? Because if a bug knows better and bacteria knows better, should you put it in your body? And that was a great, like, I'd already given up fast food at that point, but I'm like, oh, never again. So that's my mental, if I can't put it on the counter and a bug won't eat it and mold won't grow on it, should I put it in my body?
Not doing it. Not doing it. Yeah. Wow.
So, in terms of nutrition, everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. For example, I've experimented over the years with my own health issues, and I've done a lot of research. I have a lot of inflammatory issues and not just pain-related structural issues, but now I have this whole other autoimmune something. And the more you read, everybody has, oh, just do paleo or just do this, or just everybody's different. I have actually discovered personally, if I eat meat, I get vestibular migraines. Once I stopped eating meat, my migraines went away. It was different.
Wow.
I also have recently discovered that dairy and eggs are hugely inflammatory to my body. And so
Wow.
no more of that. I can't have a lot of green leafy vegetables because my kidneys don't like them. I get kidney stones. So I'd like you have to kind of experiment with your body on what makes you feel better and what makes you feel worse.
I love that suggestion, paying attention and being in tune with that. And yeah, some of us, I don't know, when we look at what did I eat yesterday? I'm like, I don't know. So I don't know if that's why I don't feel great today, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
but paying attention and being mindful of what you're putting in your body and the effect it has is really great. Yeah.
and remember, with cortisol, your body starts craving salty, fatty foods.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of combat that, because you wake up tired and you got to go and you're going to grab a coffee and you're going to go get something on the go, an easy fix there might be doing an hour of meal prep on a weekend or something to kind of set your meals so you can grab them and go. But
Nice.
there's something that's healthy and adding nutrition into your body that your body knows what to do with. Your body knows what to do with fruit and vegetables, the natural fruits and vegetables, not so much the chemicals we put on them anymore, but the fruits and vegetables, it can typically digest better. But when you're pouring sugar and all that other stuff into what is it, Red Bull or the energy drinks?
Yeah,
Oh,
those are scary to me.
I would be crawling, my heart would go into like triple time and I'd be like, I wouldn't sleep for a week. But that's just me. I know me. That's too much for me. Everybody is different. Like doing a massage on someone, everybody is different.
Right.
So, but getting some type of nutrition in there will actually change the rest of your day. Same thing as hydration with water or something like a Gatorade or something with electrolytes in it. I just read a terrible article where a young mother was feeling dehydrated on vacation and drank way too much water, and she passed away because she drank way too much water. After a massage, we'll tell you to drink an extra bottle or two of water in the next day or two on top of what you'd normally drink because your body's flushing toxins out. But be careful of that electrolyte balance. But you do need to hydrate better. So getting the sodas and the Red Bulls and kind of pushing them out and actually hydrating your body so it's eliminating some of that excessive hormone and sugar and kludge in your body that you need to get out, you might start to feel better.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So movement is yes.
You stop exercising when you have stress. I just don't have time. I'm too busy. That's like my whole life. If I'm physically capable in the morning, I now have to take the dog on a WALK, which I'm spelling because he's sleeping under my desk. And if I say the word, he'll go crazy.
Yes.
So, but even just a little bit of movement. Some people can do more than others. I'm not saying go out and run a marathon. I'm just saying getting your body moving, getting your joints moving, getting your muscles moving, getting your heart rate up a little bit every day. It gets things moving. Moving is important. That way, at the end of the day, when you're exhausted, you can go to sleep. And sleep is when your body heals. You need to have sleep. I think it's very easy to lay in bed and check your phone or read your tablet. And I've read a lot of studies that are like, that actually turns your brain on. It doesn't turn it off. So I personally have started trying to just take baths before I go to bed or read a paper book, something on paper so you don't get that light coming back at you. But sleep is really important too.
Yeah. I work with a lot of my clients on what we call sleep hygiene, right? So first, you've moved your body during the day, so you're physically tired enough to fall asleep, and then a bedtime routine that slowly winds you down into sleep mode on purpose, right? Is super helpful. The bath. Yes. Yeah. So, and you're right. I love that you're talking about sleep being the time when we heal, when our bodies heal. not just our mind resting and recovering, but our bodies healing, even down to the cellular level, during that sleep cycle is so important. So I'm glad you mentioned that too, along with the exercise. So if we can take 2 steps back maybe, and just maybe talking about diet and exercise, you've mentioned a couple times how everybody is different. And when you were talking about diet, you're like, some people, we hear all of these diets thrown out there. Oh, do this. And I did this and I lost 1,000 pounds and whatever. Right. But the looking for both the diet and the level of movement / exercise that really works for your body, I think is so important, right? Because the same thing with exercise routines. Oh, you must do this and this and this in order to achieve whatever body you're looking to achieve, right?
Yes, and then I'm going to end up not being able to move at all. Like,
right.
I've
Yeah.
I've told clients over the years, you're the only person living in your body. You're the only person who knows how it feels. So, like in terms of massage, when someone's using pressure on you, I know what you feel like to me, but I can't tell what I feel like to you. So if you don't speak up, I could be using far too much pressure. Same thing with exercise. I've asked other people over the years who are very fit and very healthy and nutrition conscious, and like, oh, try this program, try that program. And I'm like, I've now dislodged my pelvis, and now I broke another vertebra, and all I did was bend over, but hey, apparently I bent over too hard. I don't know. So I have come to my ability is that I get to walk every now and then. I'm looking forward in the future to adding some chair exercises. I've been kind of researching those for myself, but you have to know your own body, and it's not something we all do. Like, something hurts and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, here, take a pill. Well, is that fixing the problem or identifying the problem?
Or
it might
masking
be,
it.
it might not, but if there's pain, it's a sign that something's wrong. If you're not feeling good energy, it's a sign you need to adjust something so you can get that good energy back. And every body is different. I can't stress that enough.
Right. Well, and how about this too? Because there are, like, through a life cycle, what may have been really great, in your 20s may not be as great in your 40s or your 50s, right? So I think that I'm right in a transition period in my life right now. My body is, and things that used to work really well aren't working as well. So I'm in a kind of a discovery phase too, right? Transition / discovery. What is going on over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've always said change is good. Like, when your body is stagnant, there's a problem. Every time you come in for a massage, something else should feel a little bit off. You shouldn't always hurt in just one spot. That means we're stuck and we're not moving. But as we grow and our hormones change, because then you got a whole other issue there, and that changes for men and women. Right. People don't talk about it all that much that I'm aware of. Oh, you can go get this supplement, or you can go, well, experiment and see if it works for you, but check with your doctor, make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing, or if you're taking medication that is vital to you, that you're not having a contraindication somehow. But you're the only person living in there. It's an incredible machine that will heal itself if you give it what it needs.
Fantastic. Love it. Love it. Love it. And so taking care of our body, both with diet, exercise, sleep, hydration, all of those things. Let's talk about the effects of stress and existing in this incredibly stressful world when we're actually taking care of ourselves physically in the way that we need to, right? What does that do? What does that look like? I'm sure in your clients, you can see when someone comes in and they are taking care of themselves versus if they're not, and they're got the associated stress level there, right?
That's a tough one. Again, everybody's different, and how you handle stress is different. Men and women handle stress differently. Men have different ways of relieving stress. I saw a wonderful presentation with Dr. John Gray. Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus.
I think so.
That
Yeah.
doctor. Okay. He gave a presentation I once, and he's very funny in person. And he was talking about the way men and women relieve stress. And he said, for men, it's exercise, sleep, and sex. It's a testosterone release that gets rid of kind of some of that stress.
Yeah.
They really need to kind of push it out in a physical way. Women relieve stress by talking. And he gave a great example of, he was like, so, for the women in the room, I'm going to say there's a woman coming in the back, and she's holding this newborn baby, and it's dressed like this, and it looks like this, and it's making this sweet little face. And every woman in this room went, oh. And he said, that's how women relieve stress, talking and that. So if you want a happy marriage, men and women, because he was going into happy marriages at that point, he said, ladies, when you're upset about something, when you have stress, tell your husband one thing that's wrong. Let him solve it. Tell him what you need, and he's going to go do it, and he's going to feel like the man, and he's going to feel great. Then get on the phone and talk to every woman that you know, and tell her just until you're done talking it out, until you've moved it out, because women are emotional. We need to breathe it out. We need to talk it out, whether you're talking it, journaling it. Sometimes I think writing it down and just kind of pushing it out, that really helps too. Every body is different. I know some people that go hiking. I know some people that do yoga. Me, I like to sleep and I like massage. That's what is going to relieve my stress the most.
You found it, me, I like a walk. Yeah. I like
yeah.
So yeah, awesome. All right. So let's move into my favorite topic of the night.
What's that?
your fourth, massage. Let's talk about healing touch. Let's talk about how does massage reduce stress and all of those beautiful things that go along with it.
I think massage can be really healing for a lot of people, especially if they've never had it. I've had a number of clients continuously now, even those coming into our office. I'm the only person locally, I've been told in the state, but I'm going to say locally, that's willing to bill insurance. And the only insurance we can be providers for is for the VA. So a lot of the veteran referrals we're getting in, you have some, I'm going to call them my salty old vets that have never had healthy touch. And when you have someone in their mid 70s hunched over and walking in and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, and they've never had healthy touch, they don't know what to expect. So it's working that expectation in, explaining what you're doing, and then providing something that is helpful. And I have one that's always on my mind just because he had such a great response. First massage, I don't know about this, but I'll try it again. And second massage, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit better. And third massage, he's walking in and he's feeling great. Like, I'm ready to do this. Let's go. And now he's able to go work with his horses and on his motorcycle, and he's outside and he's living life because he's no longer worried about falling over into the fire if he can't get back up. But those moments are very powerful to realize someone who's never had healthy touch until they understand what that is. Having healthy touch in a state where prostitution is legal is always an interesting challenge. That's why all of our massage therapists, everyone is licensed under the state board. Everyone has medical massage certificates or is constantly pursuing different education because, again, every body is different. Some people like more of a firm touch, some like not a firm touch. But think of when you walk across the room and you accidentally kick the table with your shin. What's the first thing you do after you swear?
Yeah, first is definitely swearing, right?
But then the next thing you do is you take your hand and you put on it. You put your hand on what hurts and you rub it. It's a natural reaction. It's causing blood flow to come to the area. The more blood, the more oxygen. The more I'm going to address, I'm changing the pain pattern of what hurts. So touch itself can be powerful. Even if you just put your hand on someone, if you were to put your hand on your husband's back, he's going to feel the heat, he's going to feel the energy, and he's going to actually get blood flow to that area. So even if you're hurting, you're not a massage therapist, but you want to help, just simply putting your hand on someone where it hurts is actually going to bring blood flow to that area. it increases the circulation throughout your body. It helps calm down your nervous system. It also starts getting the rest of your body systems to move a little bit better, like your digestive system. So it's very common after a massage, like, I need to go to the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom right now. Your body's moving things out, which is another reason we say drink water, because we want you to keep loosening. We've loosened up a bunch of kludge and we want you to kind of flush it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It should help relax some muscle tissue. It should alleviate that pull of tendon and ligament on bone. And it should be very calming mentally. Massage, therapeutic massage isn't normally a stimulation. It's more of a bring it back down a level.
Nice.
So you get that full body response. It's a passive exercise. So I tell clients all the time, it's normal to feel a little soreness like you exercised, because we're working your muscles for you, just doing it while you're relaxed. It also confuses your brain a little, so it doesn't understand why the muscle's moving. So it says, oh, we'll just stop it, relax, you're laying down. So it does a couple of different things.
Yeah. So, wow, I just hear when you're describing this, I'm sensing from you such a respect for this whole modality, right? There's the physical touch and the muscle manipulation and all of those things, but when you talk about healing touch too, there's a connection that you feel with massage therapist to client, and when I'm thinking healing touch, consent is involved. And hey, tell me how you're feeling. I don't know. I know how I'm feeling. Is that how you said it earlier? I know how I'm feeling. I don't know how you're feeling. Tell me if what I'm doing is okay. And that movement, the knowledge of the muscles in the body and where they attach and all of those things and what they should feel like versus what they do feel like. I sense that respect in that from you, and that's so important, and it's admirable, actually.
I don't know many massage therapists who become massage therapists to become billionaires. It's because we have an understanding typically of pain somehow, and we have a desire to help. And so I know everyone in my office and most of the massage therapists I've ever worked with, when you come in, we can see that hurt. We can see the pain. We can feel it with our hands. We know where you're tight. We want you to feel better when you walk out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works beautifully, and sometimes massage might not be the right care. It might be more of a subluxation where a chiropractor might be of better service, or acupuncture where it might be an energetic issue. But it's a good place to start. And it's usually pretty relaxing.
Right, definitely. And that's one of those, another area where everybody is different, right? Try it and see. And yeah. So you told this story about the gentleman who went through a few massages and had that kind of a good outcome there, even though he was hesitant at first. That seemed like a lot of physical benefit. Let's talk about the emotional benefit and where that kind of comes into play with this healthy touch and massage specifically.
When you're hurt or you're stressed, how are you feeling? You're not feeling very positive. You're not getting to do the things that you like to do. So in bringing some relief to pain or some functional movement, where it can be something as simple as I got to hold my baby, or I got to pick up my dog, or I was able to empty the dishwasher. It could be something that's really small in someone's world. For me, it's like I'm able to walk back up the stairs and back down the stairs, because sometimes that's just too much. Like, did I make it all the way up and I can still breathe and my knees are okay and my back is okay? I made it up the stairs. So different for everyone. And I just went off on a squirrel.
No. I love it. And when you're talking about massage and what comes into your head about it, I love to hear. You and I have talked a few times now, and the passion for what you do, it comes through. And I think it's just a beautiful thing to explore. So no bad tangents here.
You have to bring me back around. What was the question? Did I answer it?
Yeah. Emotional benefits of massage, which I think, yeah.
Did I answer that? I don't know. So, but when you feel better, what do? You can go out more. You have a more positive attitude. You can exercise more. All of the things that you do for self-care become much easier because you feel better. So I'm not saying massage is the end all be all. It's going to fix everything. Massage doesn't fix anything. I was told in school very specifically by the director of the school that I went to, you're not going to fix anyone. Your goal is to facilitate a healing response. Your client's body is going to heal itself. Your body knows what it needs. You just have to listen to it. So it's not going to, I can't heal anyone as a massage therapist, but I can help relax the muscles. I can bring some of that inflammation down. I can bring the nervous system back down. I can help you breathe a little easier. And so when you leave, you're not going to have so much stress, and you might not have so much anxiety, and you might be able to go out and exercise. And then, you know what, I feel so good, I'm going to go have a good healthy protein and salad for dinner, and I'm going to drink some water, and I'm going to hydrate, and I'm going to get a good night's sleep. And then see the next day, do you feel better? And are we starting a positive trend?
Yeah, so that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, one thing that I've seen in my practice, in my coaching practice, especially through COVID and past COVID, is kind of a drawing in of everyone. Like, really, our society, we're working from home more, we're staying home more, we're not out with people, we're not interacting in person as much. Zoom makes it super easy to sit in our own space. And I think that what's happening there a lot, what I'm seeing with people that come to me who are just depressed, and they're not sure, like, I'm still working, I'm still whatever, but I'm just, I used to be up here and now I'm down here. And as far as my mood goes, and they're missing touch. Right. And a lot of people who go through a traumatic experience, it's like, okay, the world doesn't feel safe enough for me to be touched. And so to come into a safe place where they've talked to you and you've explained how it's going to happen, and what's, you've introduced them to a massage therapist, and that massage therapist is careful and kind and respectful, and they get that touch. Wow, what a difference.
It can be really powerful. And sometimes really just listening to someone when they say how they're hurting, what caused the hurt, and then say, it's okay to be uncomfortable. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to address that. And in my career, I think I was not just good at addressing pain because I actually really understand it. I could think, how does that hurt in me, and what would I want to do to fix it? But I can explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it as a technique. How does it feel? It's a relationship. Massage, it should be a relationship that's very trusting, and you have to build that. So if you come in and you're not comfortable taking your clothes off, cool, I can work over clothes, and I can tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Next time we might get a little bit, you might take your top off, and we might be able to get a little bit deeper into that. And sometimes a table is too much. You know what? We're gonna work on a chair. I volunteered at an organization years ago for abused women. And sometimes just simply putting your hand on theirs was about much touch as they were able to take, but it was touch they were able to take. It's still healthy touch. So it's powerful when that happens.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the different kinds of massage. So you've mentioned the over the clothes and those kinds of things. You've got some specific modalities that your therapists utilize in different situations. So maybe you can share those with us as well.
Well, massage is not the same one for everyone. Just like every body is different, every massage is different. So I tell everyone I talk to on the phone when I'm scheduling their appointments, we need your feedback. And I really mean it. Like, all the massage therapists who work with me, they all work on me, and I'm really high maintenance and I'm really vocal. So I'm like, I want heavier pressure over here and don't touch this side. And if I lay face down, I need a bolster under my hips because of my low back. And when I lay back, I need, don't move my head too fast. Like, I'm really, really vocal. The more feedback you can give, the better. I
Beautiful.
also try and get what their experience is. Do you like more of a firm pressure? Because I have some therapists that can do firm pressure and some that can't. Are you calling for a prenatal massage? I have some massage therapists who are certified in prenatal and some that don't want to do it at all. We do a lot of therapeutic techniques in our office. And again, everybody's education is a little bit different. So I have one therapist that does more neuromuscular work. I have one that's really good with shortenings or strain counter strain or trigger point therapy, or lots of different tools in the toolbox to address if this technique doesn't work with you, let's try this one. It should never be painful. Massage should never be painful. It's okay to have pressure. And we even joke it's the hurt so good pain, but it should never be painful. So if you ever in a massage and you're like trying to breathe through it, like say something to the therapist. That's too much. We're going to cause a pain response. We don't want that. I have several massage therapists that are Reiki masters, which isn't as well known for a lot of people until you kind of experience it. It's the whole universe is energy. There's a transfer of energy from every cell in your body, from one cell to another, to every particle in the universe. It's all energy. And I believed in it, but when my body flared the first time and I had this pain in my leg that massage wouldn't touch, chiropractic didn't touch, medication didn't touch, it felt like something was eating my bone from the inside out. It was just this surreal pain and I couldn't touch it. One of our massage therapists did Reiki, and I'm not lying. I literally felt her take the pain out my leg, down my foot, out my toe, and it just kind of moved on. I'm like, that just happened.
That's amazing.
I'm a believer. One of our therapists is a certified bone work practitioner. And that one's really fascinating too. I can't explain it really well. It's more of like a neurological reset. And it's the tiniest little thing, the tiny little movement that she does in a sequence. And she just kind of lets your body calm down in the little thing, and your body calms down. And it really calms down your nervous system. That's great for a lot of different medical issues. What am I missing? We do a lot of chair massage.
Yeah.
It's a great quick 15-minute stress reliever.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how I built my business, actually, was chair massage. I would take my chair into businesses and have them lined up.
Beautiful. There is, we're not quite to the Q&A section yet. We're almost there, but there was a question that Lisa at Mays put in earlier that said, can you talk about the benefits of craniosacral therapy, CST, as compared to therapeutic massage?
Thanks for asking. I am not craniosacral trained. It is not my deal. But one of our therapists in the Reno office, Emily, is. And I would describe it as kind of a rebalancing of the cerebral spinal fluid between your head and your tail. And what's in the middle is your spine. So in between your brain and your sacrum, your spine has spinal fluid, and it's kind of rebalancing that, keeping, relieving strain. That would be my best understanding. It's insanely relaxing, and I fall asleep every time she does it. It's very minimal. It's not like Emily, no heavy touch. She cannot do deep tissue physically, not going to do it, but she's specializing in these very gentle techniques that can be extremely like Reiki, it can be extremely powerful. So I would describe that as the rebalancing of kind of the cerebral spinal fluid.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question. And it's therapeutic massage is more traditional massage strokes. Effleurage, petrissage is kind of a gentle stroke or a kneading stroke, maybe friction, stretching, strain counter strain, shortening, a lot of different manipulation techniques for specific muscles as you're working on them. So you're using kind of more throughout the muscle. Craniosacral is more kind of head and sacrum to rebalance that fluid.
Beautiful. All right, Lisa, let us know if that answered your question. I know I had, I went in for that to help with migraines. And it was so incredibly helpful for my body with migraines to have that craniosacral therapy. So beautiful. Okay. So we are going to move into Q&A. There's another question/comment that was super interesting about when we were talking about the eating and the diet, benefits of diet and your hamburger. I'm sorry. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So if you're listening now and you have some questions, now's the time, put them in the chat and we'll come back to that in just 2 seconds. In the meantime, though, Molly, tell us a little bit about how we find you, how we find Body in Knead. I'll put a link to your website in chat while you're talking, but tell us a little bit about your business and how to get in touch with you and what we need to know about you.
Bodyinknead.com has all of the information. It actually takes you to a landing page. So you can pick either Reno or Sparks. Our Sparks office is over inside Balanced Health Solutions, just down from the Sparks Justice Court. And we have about 8 practitioners there. And our Reno office is over on Kitski Lane behind the convention center. And we have 8 or 9 there. So you can actually from bodyinknead.com pick, do you want Reno or Sparks? When you go to each website, I have an About Us link on the top menu bar. So you can actually read the profile of every massage therapist and see who they are and where they went to school and why they're passionate about massage and kind of what massage styles they really enjoy doing. Over the years, I have found a massage therapist gives the massage they like to receive. So someone who does really gentle work is not going to do deep tissue, and likewise. So my massage personally, when I was still able to do the work, was very therapeutic based. I ran a lot of different techniques.
That's interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. And so we can go to your website and read bios and find out who kind of specializes in what we might be interested in. If we aren't sure what we need, those of us who've never gotten a massage before, who maybe Jolyn's telling them that they need to go get a massage, what's the best option for those folks that might not know what they need?
I would say call me. I talk to people every day, all day for all of our therapists, and I like to know more about what your experience is. Have you had massage? Have you not? What is your experience with touch? That way we can try and hear what hurts. If I can get you with the therapist who's going to give you the best benefit, you'll have a more positive response. We certainly don't want to waste your time or money. So getting you to the right place at the right time is very helpful. If no one in either of my offices can help, I know a lot of other massage therapists. We refer out, we work in cooperation, not competition. So it's the goal is to help you get the care that you need.
Nice. And yeah, I can attest to that as I've been meeting as many people as I can in the wellness space in Reno. It's when Molly's name comes up, it is, oh yeah, Molly does. She's got this huge heart for the people of Reno for sure. So yeah, I love that. We've got a couple of comments in chat. So one was food for that. Love that, Lisa. Honey is the only food you can keep on the counter for long periods of time, that 5,000 plus years without mold or deterioration. It never goes bad. I love that. Probably, I mean, it crystallizes, right? Because I'm trying to think of the hamburger that like looks like it holds its shape. It looks like a hamburger. Oh, even if it's been under your car seat for
it still looked like a hamburger.
Yeah,
it was pretty scary, but you are right, Lisa. Honey actually can be used for a number of things, including, I believe I read a while back, it was a ancient antibacterial for like war wounds. You can heat it up and use it like for war wounds. Don't try it. Just go see a doctor if something's not right. Just saying, I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I love that though. I love that is the one thing, but that is a healthy thing that counters that for sure. So,
and it's a food your body knows what to do with.
Right. And I love your analogy of shopping in the center of the store versus the outside. It tends to the whole foods that our bodies recognize tend to be on the outside of the store. Yeah. So if you're shopping, try and stay away from
Shop
the center.
outside.
Shop the outside of the store for sure. All right. And Kate Sheehy, my friend, my good friend Kate says, so helpful. I need a massage and I wish I were closer to you because Kate is not in Reno. I'm so sorry. Molly, maybe you can help those who are listening tonight who are not in the Reno area. Anything that you can offer to help in the search for a good massage therapist in their area, something to look for, red flags to stay away from. So I don't know.
I would look for someone who has liability insurance because they're very, typically they already have an education and they have a bio and a profile that says that they're licensed by the individual state that they're in. I know in Nevada, you can look up someone by their name to see if their license is valid or not. Out of state, I've referred people over the years to abmp.com or amta.com. Those are the two major liability insurance companies that a massage therapist will have for their own liability coverage, but they maintain a directory of people and you can look it up usually by zip code.
Great. Okay, awesome. Thank you. We got a couple more questions coming in and it is, we are at an hour. Are you okay, Molly, for a little bit? If we still, okay. All right. Awesome. Kate says, thank you. Yeah, definitely. All right. Miss Sue. Hi, Sue. She says, what is the difference between acupressure massage and massage therapy?
So massage therapy is more of a stroke, traditional like Swedish massage, where we're using kneading motions, gliding motions. We're using oil, gel, or lotion on our hands to reduce the friction on your skin. And we're using those techniques to help your muscles relax. Acupressure is based a bit on acupuncture. They're just using their fingers to point pressure directly down on acupressure points that follow the same meridian lines that acupuncture does. So it's pressure with your finger without the needle. And that can be very powerful too. I would say make sure if you're getting someone who does acupressure that they're very knowledgeable in it. I can tell you I was absolutely 100% a complete failure in that class. And there are acupressure points you can use to help like a woman go into labor or to lower like labor pains. And I failed 100% of the time at that. That was not, I would not do, I wasn't my thing. But I know other people that have done it and do it very well. It's to release the blockages and the energy meridians that go in your body. It's more of a Chinese medicine. And how I have a good question for you in terms of acupressure, because this isn't a funny story. A woman I worked with years ago at the Ralston Massage Center had a woman who came in who was very pregnant, very young, single mom, and the doctor was threatening a C-section because the baby wouldn't turn. And so someone bought her a massage. And this therapist happened to remember from our acupressure class that there's a pressure point on the outside of the pinky toe that causes a baby to turn in utero. So how did someone figure that out 5,000 years ago?
How did they figure that out?
But she did that point throughout the massage and said, is there anyone at home that can help you with that? And her mom was there. So she's like, okay, just have her pinch outside of your toes. And we got a note a day and a half later that, hey, the baby turned. She didn't have to have a C-section. She was going to be able to deliver. And I've tried that on pregnant moms, like that were going to have a C-section. They were getting a prenatal massage before they had their C-section just to kind of relax and chill out. And I would tell them that story and like, oh, I want to try it. And I would pinch their toe and they would be like, whoa. And the baby, it was like a zinger to the baby, like, whoa, like that. They'd move them all around. But how did someone figure that out 5,000 years ago? I don't know.
I don't know how we figured a lot of things out that we have figured out. I don't know. Thank you all for figuring some of those things out. Yeah.
So acupressure is based on acupuncture and the same energy meridian lines in the body, hitting certain points to relieve the energy or get the energy flowing along those meridians. Massage is more muscle work.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. All right. And a comment from Lisa. Lisa, you and I are honey lovers for sure. The propolis, is that how you say that? Propolis that bees make is actually purchased by medical companies due to its antibacterial, antiseptic, and antifungal benefits. Honey helps combat allergies too. Plus it's delicious. Absolutely. I was just at a farmer's market here in Reno, picked up local honey from Reno. My husband always suffers from allergies. So we try to do that, find the local honey and get those those allergies under control that way, as natural as possible first, right?
Take that nutrition any way you can.
Absolutely. Well, Molly, thank you so much. I love chatting with you so much. We have to go to lunch and get together again for sure. And thanks everyone who's asked questions, and just been a wonderful time. I appreciate you. And
thank you for the opportunity. I hope I actually answered some of the questions.
I think you did. Yes. Lisa says, thank you both for your time. Absolutely, Lisa. Now it's fantastic. Yes. Another great conversation with Molly. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jolyn.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good night.